Welcome. Tonight's program will dive deep into fringe knowledge of lost, hidden, and suppressed truths about the nature of our reality. The decoding process can be uncomfortable and at times frightening. However, you are not alone on this journey of understanding. Welcome to the Shadow Band Podcast.
I saw it.
Not much, man.
Why are you huffing and puffing, bro? What's the matter? Why are you stressed?
I gotta order new freaking headphones, and I've been out of the headphone game for so long. I don't even know what's good anymore.
I feel that. Just buy the most expensive studio headphones that you can find on the internet. That's what I do.
I don't know about that, dude.
That's what I always do. Hey, listen up. If you're watching live right now, can you do us a favor? Just let us know if the audio levels are good. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties before recording. So if you can hear us, just jump in the chat. Let us know who needs to go up or down or if we're golden. Yeah, go in the other room and do that for me real quick. Crystal's gonna handle it. She's gonna go in the other room and turn up the old volume. So, some things have happened in the world since we last spoke. Before I go too deep into it, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Did you hear Charlie Kirk got shot?
What?
Sorry, too soon.
Yeah. So glad my algorithms aren't feeding me that anymore.
Yeah, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, no, everybody cared for like a month at most. It was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wait, how many years ago was that, bro?
Yeah, right.
I mean, look, you take the first one because I've got the most out of a comic book thing I've seen this year so far.
Sure. Well, Jamaica's about to be a smart city. All of it, all of Jamaica.
It's about freaking time, bro. Bunch of idiots down there.
Seen that massive hurricane just wiped Jamaica off the map, basically?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, dude.
Jamaica
Like
got wiped?
world records type hurricane or something slams into Jamaica.
Get out, dude.
Yeah, just wiped it out. And I've been seeing all these posts for the last like 3 days. And I don't know how. This is one of those things, right? We're getting to that time now where you see something on the internet, there's no way to know if it's real or not. How's it sound?
Oh, you didn't see it? You guys sound good.
Sound good. Okay, cool. Seeing all these posts that's like talking about turning Kingston into a smart city, and this is like old news, and then this hurricane goes and like wipes it out. So people are like splicing them together, making these memes. Like, look, it's happening.
Yeah, dude. There was just that Instagram post that was going viral like a week ago about them being like, I don't know if it's like Mark Maron's podcast or one of them, somebody's podcast was like, how come all of a sudden hurricanes don't hit the United States anymore? Every single one of them peels out back into the ocean. All of the sudden, we get hit every single year, and then all of a sudden, now they're just riding up the coast and going out into the ocean.
Well, I can say this: Florida did pass that bill. What was it? I don't remember the bill exactly, but it was a no more weather modification. Yep, no more chemtrails.
No. It was no more geoengineering chemtrails from public airports.
Using taxpayer money with the objective of weather modification. It was very specific.
So many loopholes to that.
But maybe that has something to do with it. Just saying.
It could.
Right. And I will say this is a fun fact for everybody. And I've been seeing this all over the internet too, ever since this government shutdown situation. the amount of chemtrails have just fall. Like if you had a graph, like a chart, like the amount has just plummeted. I've seen this personally, right? Because I'm the guy who's always looking at the chemtrails every day. I'm like, look, there's some chemtrails. Ask Crystal. Every day we walk outside, I'm like, look, there's 47 chemtrails. Since the shutdown, I'm seeing like one or two here and there.
Yeah,
Very
and that's
few.
probably contrails because there are contrails.
Sure, could be, or they could be private.
They could be private. So it's like, yeah, there could be some private ones. It could be actual contrails. People are like, "That's a contrail." No, the ones that are left are. The rest of them were not.
It's
But
interesting.
you know what, dude? I was just saying this last week. Jade was asking how the pod's going, and I was like, it's weird. Me and Jeff were just like on the same wavelength. Like the thing we had, we didn't talk beforehand, but the thing we brought was the things we were thinking about the same things. Now, you bring up this, the Jamaica getting turned into a smart city and geoengineering, and bro, let me show you what I had. Israel-U.S. geoengineering company Stardust to begin blocking the sun with airborne chemicals as soon as April over here of 2026. What?
Why do they want to block the sun? Well, hold on. I know why they want to block the sun, really. But like, why are they saying that they want to block the sun? Like, what's the narrative that they're saying it's a good idea to block the sun?
I don't know. I didn't get into the John Fleetwood article, but let me just read through this real quick. Israel-U.S. company Stardust Solutions. So solving what? What solution? Announced plans to begin solar engineering tests, sure, in April 2026, using aircraft to spray undisclosed reflective particles. I mean, that doesn't exist, though, into the atmosphere to block sunlight and to cool the planet. The firm, which has raised $75 million, including $60 million in new funding, led by Lower Carbon Capital, there's your reason why, claims its powder, undisclosed reflective material, but it's a powder, is safe and won't harm ecosystems or the ozone layer, but refuses to reveal its composition. We've already gone over the composition of
Safe
this.
and
This is
effective.
that gold, whatever. Yeah. The project is unregulated, awesome, untested, and lacks transparency or public consent, obviously, with over 590 scientists calling for a global moratorium on such experiments. No, they're not. Founded in 2023 near Tel Aviv by former Israeli nuclear scientist Yanai Yedvab and Amiad Spector. Bro, Amiad Spector? Come
That's a
on now.
James Bond
This is a
villain, dude.
freaking double-second character. Stardust aims to sell its aerosol-based cooling technology to governments, open brackets. Environmental groups have condemned the initiative as reckless and potentially capable of disrupting global weather and patterns and violating UN engineering bans. Brother, this was a right-wing conspiracy, and now the lefties are like, "What? You can't do that." Look, you were saying it didn't exist. We were ringing the bell. Ding, 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 ding.
First, I just want to point this out. In the very beginning of that, you said that they're going to spray reflective particles to reflect sunlight to cool the planet, right? Right?
Yep.
Do me a favor, Google this and put it on the screen. Welsbach seating. Welsbach seating. Patent. Just bear with us here, chat, okay?
Welsbach seating. I think we've gone over this,
We've gone over this, but it's important.
but we got to bring it back up. US 500. Okay, I got it right here. Where's the freaking share button? There it is. Screen. And this is just a quick Goog. This is like Google patents, patents.google.com. The abstract, a method is described for reducing atmospheric and global warming resulting from the presence of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere, i.e. the greenhouse effect. Such gases are relatively transparent to sunshine, but absorb strongly the long wavelength infrared radiation released by the Earth. The method includes a step for seeding the layer of heat-trapping gases in the atmosphere with particles of material characterized by wavelength-dependent emissivity. What in the world does that even mean? Such materials include Welsbach materials and the oxides of metals which have high emissivity and thus low reflectivity. So this is the opposite of that.
And
this is low reflectivity, so that way it can block the gases. And they're trying to do high reflectivity, which we looked up was a on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, their patents thing or whatever their funding goes to, was putting like gold oxide in the atmosphere.
yeah, Scopex.
Yeah.
So in this patent, it explicitly says that doing the Welsbach seeding actually increases global temperatures.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it's trapping the heat.
It also says somewhere that the emissions from one of these planes, one Welsbach seeding event, is the equivalent to, like, I don't even remember the number, like 1,000 cars burning for a year or some crazy number. I just made that number up, so don't ban me for that misinformation. I don't remember the number, but it's insane.
So I bet you what happened is, because they always do this, they test something, it goes awry, and then they have to go back. I bet you they already did this all over the place, increased the temperature, and they're like, global warming, let's never let a crisis go to waste, even ones that we made. And now they're trying to bounce the heat out because they know that they already trapped all these gases up there. And I bet you that's what they did.
The reason I had you pull this up, right? Like you said, this is the opposite of what they're doing, right? The solution, quote unquote, from the other one, from the Israeli one, right? US Israeli one, the new one. The solution is to spray reflective particles to cool the earth, because this is Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. They created the problem. They did Welsbach seeding, among other things, that trapped black belt radiation onto the earth and increased temperatures. Okay. That was the problem. Then they told us it was CO2, even though CO2 has never caused climate catastrophes in all of the geological records from ice cores and shit. It's never been CO2 is the problem. Okay. So they created this problem, told us it was CO2, waited for our reaction, and now they're offering this solution.
Give that a quick read.
Shenanigans. What's up, Brittany? Who's Brittany? I don't know. What up, Brittany?
Can you see that?
Well, okay. The greenhouse gases are typically in the Earth's stratosphere at an altitude of 7 to 13 kilometers. This suggests that the particle seeding should be done at an altitude on the order of 10 kilometers. The particles may be seeded by dispersal from seeding aircraft. One exemplary technique may be via the jet fuel, as suggested by prior work regarding the metallic particles. Once the tiny particles have been dispersed into the atmosphere, the particles may remain in suspension for up to 1 year. Yeah, the Welsbach seeding technique is that they put the chemicals or whatever into the fuel. Brittany's a long-time listener. Hey, we appreciate that, Brittany. Shout out to you.
Where does it go after?
Oh, it goes down on us, in the food, in the water. In us.
I hate this planet. Who asked for this, dude? Like, bro, it shouldn't happen. I understand the Dave Smiths of the earth that's like, there should be no war and all this kind of stuff, but this is what happens when everybody just gets to do whatever they want. This is what happens. You got freaking supervillains spraying chemicals into the sky and going, oh, it's going to come down in about a year. And everyone's like, oh, okay, it's not. Hold on. Wait, where? On you. And then it's going to get too hot. And then we're going to have to go and put more metal up there to reflect heat so that we stop. Dude. And then it's going to get too cold. These people should have been wiped out a long time ago from natural disasters and war, and also just bullies.
I think that's the problem. I think a lot of these people just got bullied when they were kids, and now you got this Spectre character that's trying to spray metallic particles in the sky.
Bro, I'm telling you, anytime these guys, back in the day, we're talking 1,000 years ago, 800 years ago, somebody would have been tinkering around with some drawings in a room somewhere. A bunch of guys would have busted in there, been like, "Oh, this guy's gay," and killed him. And and then no supervillain. That's it. Whatever world catastrophe he would have caused, some mud flood somewhere, it would have just died with some homophobic bullying, and that would have been the end of it. And then no civilizations get wiped out. just one bad guy gets taken out early. It's like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, dude, like, and it's crazy because you see it happening, right? Like, once you have the eyes to see this stuff, it's like, it's super obvious, you know, because I've talked about this a long time ago. Remember, I made the joke, you're an anti-sprayer, right? It's like, we're getting to this point where they're doing this thing like the other program that you read a minute ago, this new program that's starting next year, right? And they're like, yeah, we're going to spray metallic or reflective particles, rather, to cool down the planet, right? And I guarantee you probably got millions of people out there that are like, hell yeah, good idea. We got to do this. Like, we need to do this for the sake of humanity to stop climate change. We have to keep spraying reflective particles and all kinds of other shit into the atmosphere. And if you disagree, you're an anti-sprayer, just like an anti-vaxxer or whatever, right? It's just mind-blowing to me that people are like so naive to think that this is a good idea, right? And by the way, safe and effective, right? Because that's what the thing said. It's safe. It's not going to cause any harm to the environment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Does that sound familiar? Safe and effective, right? Do it for grandma. Sound familiar? You remember that?
Yeah.
How wrong were they on that? Pretty fucking wrong. Oops.
And this is just what they tell you.
This is just what they tell you, bro. This isn't even like the shit that they didn't.
Man, dude, I'm telling you, there's a growing part of me that's just like, Jesus, just come back already, please. Freaking end it. It's too much. I don't want to be covered in microscopic particles. I don't want to go through friggin' what's that set? What's the movie? The Day After Tomorrow? I don't want to go through that.
Well, that's another part of this, right? Going off of what Linda's comment is here, you know, and I said this right at the beginning. You might not have been here, Linda, but they said, bro, they harp that shit over Jamaica so they can do the NW stuff there too, Agenda 21. That's exactly what I was saying,
That's
right?
it.
Like,
that's what we opened with.
okay, did they create the hurricane? Probably not. Hurricanes just happen naturally. Okay, all right.
Do they?
Well,
at this point, I'm like, do they?
I'm just like, I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt as much as possible, but it doesn't even matter, right? So like, okay, the hurricane forms naturally. Sure. Okay. Right. Did it just naturally make these weird turns and just direct hit into Jamaica? Sure. Why not? Will they come right in after all the devastation and build their little 15-minute smart city and like utilize this
100%?
Yeah, duh. Right? So even if they didn't create it or steer it or harp it or whatever the thing is, doesn't even matter. Right? Never let a good crisis go to waste, dude. Like, they could just sit back and wait. They could just wait for another wildfire to happen in the Palisades and be like, whoops. Take it.
I wait when you have space lasers.
Well,
why wait when you could just park a hurricane over Harvey, Texas?
Bro, speaking of parking a hurricane, the other day, what day was this? Monday, Tuesday? The rain? Whatever day it was. Sunday, okay? A few days ago, here in Titusville. Did you see the weather? Were you watching the weather?
No.
Bro, it was the heaviest rain ever, dude. 15 inches of rain in Titusville.
God, dude.
And if you look at the radar, the map, this like supercell little storm just parked right over Titusville. Didn't move. There was other shit moving. This thing was just parked, bro. 15 inches of rain, dude, in one
Wow.
day. It was like the heaviest rain. I've been living in this spot for like 4 or 5 years. It was the heaviest rain, heavier than all the hurricanes that have hit here. And it was all day and it was all night long. It was, and I literally was like, yo, this is some 40-day and 40-night type stuff right here. Like it is just like coming down, bro. It was insane.
Well, I'm driving through Wedgefield, and everybody has a pond in their front yard. Everybody.
That's why.
Streets over here that are closed, like the street our vet is on, is completely closed.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
There's
over
still
water.
there's still
Down Florida, the roads are gone.
Yeah.
Dude, literally on Sunday, we're there. It's the biggest freaking farmers market thing I've ever been to. It's like 7 streets in a grid. So like 14 streets of farmers markets. It's nuts. So we're there, we're walking around, got a couple coffee mugs, having a nice time. I'm like, man, dude, it is like so about to absolutely let loose out here. The clouds are just getting thick and crazy fast. So I'm like, let's park, let's get out of here before we get rained on. We leave. We're driving, I mean, on the whatever road is gone now. Next morning, road's gone. Gone. How?
It's not even the rainy season, bro.
It's not even it's hurricane season. No hurricane. Just regular rain. But so much of it.
Okay, so part of me thinks, right, that this is just nature
Correcting.
correcting, right? Because when you're doing weather modification for decades, bro, like I think the oldest record of it that I've ever found is like in the 1800s. Okay, like 1880 something.
It's
Okay,
the San Francisco flood, dude.
right. Okay, so they've been doing this for like 100+ years. They've been doing weather modification, and they've been doing it like really heavily and systematically for like 80 years. Okay, 70 or 80 years. And I think, right, Florida passes this bill, no more, well, not no more, but a drastic reduction in the amount of weather engineering that's happening in Florida and around Florida. And you have nature just being like, thanks, and just dumping, bro, just like letting loose.
Maybe it's correcting. I mean, I said correcting, but it might, I don't know. Cause like it could be like when you are like taking steroids and your body stops producing testosterone and you just come off of it cold turkey, you get boobs. And your hormone, I mean, it doesn't fix itself. You're just wrecked. So hopefully we didn't just wreck everything and we're just going to have haywire. I mean, Florida's, its weather's already all over the place. And if it gets worse, like we're getting no heads up flooding, that's not good.
It could also be the opposite, right? It could be, they passed this bill, and the powers that want there to be weather modification so that they can hype up this climate change thing some more, they're like, nah, bro, and they use other methods, right? Or it could be something to throw everybody off, right? Like there's a lot of people talking about weather modification stuff, right? It used to just be us and a few other people that would talk about this. Now it's like a lot of people talking about it, right? It's on Joe Rogan, it's on Sean Ryan, like there's all these big shows with people talking about this stuff. So it's like it's in the zeitgeist. So maybe they're like, okay, let's just shut down the cloud seeding or dial back the cloud seeding because they don't know about our microwave, our HARP technologies, or our satellite-based weather modification technologies or whatever.
Just so people understand what we're talking about when we say HARP, what is what was the what were those things in the water around the peninsula? HARP.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Things in the water
Yeah.
around the peninsula, around Florida?
Yeah, around Florida.
The things in the water. What do you
Remember we were looking at that?
Sharks?
No. There was like those big arrays under the water. Remember there was like those like they look like a bunch of like crisscrossy things.
I don't remember this.
Ah, man, what were we looking at? I was, God.
So, well, speaking of HARP, right? The high atmospheric, I
Or is it
forget what it's.
DARPA? I don't know.
I don't know either. But so the HARP thing, everybody knows about HARP, right? But what people don't realize is that there's a bunch of them. It's not like one facility. It's not like one HARP facility in Alaska. No, they're like all over the globe or plane or whatever you want to say. It's all over the world. And they have smaller ones too. They even have some of these devices on the backs of vehicles. I remember
Really?
seeing this. Yeah, I remember seeing this. I don't remember if it was a patent that I was reading or if it was on like a DoD website or somewhere, but they have like vehicle mounted miniature HARP systems, right? Ionizing, yeah, atmospheric ionizing systems that are just on the back of Humvees, right? Or they could throw it in the back of a shipping container on a truck and they could park it anywhere they want and blast some ionized radiation into the ozone layer and bounce it off and then, so it's not just like one facility. It's like a network. It's like a whole system that they got going on. And that's
Really?
just one technology, right? Again, like there's other technologies, right? I remember seeing back during COVID that somebody had put out a study saying that the 5G towers had the ability to manipulate some part of the atmosphere or something like this. I don't know how legit that was or whatever. I didn't really look into it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they can use Wi-Fi to X-ray through your walls and see how many people are in the room and what you're doing.
I wouldn't be
So,
surprised.
they always build these technologies with like dual purpose, right? Yeah, text messages are cool, but also, right? It's like,
Yeah, but also, have you seen this? It's like some dork being like, I can see you from space.
yeah, they don't even have to see. That's the other thing too, right? I remember back in the day, I used to be like, man, they got satellites up there. They can zoom in and, you know, they could fire a laser from a satellite onto your window. Okay. And then they can hear what you're saying based on the vibrations on the glass. And they can like analyze that with the light vibration on the glass, boom, and they can hear exactly what you're saying, right? From space with a laser. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like they could listen to us all the time. Meanwhile, I'm carrying this around, right? And it's like the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, they could zoom in on a license plate with the satellite and like read your license plate. Bro, they could just flip your Wi-Fi into an X-ray fucking goggle.
Ugh, I don't like that, dude. Because you
And
can't.
it's microwave.
They make it so that there's no other alternative. You can't not be. I mean, I guess maybe you can freaking have the jitterbug phone, the clamshell phone or whatever. Like I guess you can do that, but who's doing that?
You talking about like the safe phones?
Yeah.
I forget what they're called. The unplugged phones. Look, I would love to buy one of the unplugged phones, but that's only going to protect you from like scammers and hackers, right? It's not going to protect you from like them, right? Because they are the ones who developed the internet and they're the ones who developed the cell networks, right? If you're communicating via these networks, I don't care what your encryption is, right? Or whatever, they have access to the data and to the information, right? So same with satellite phones. You want to buy you a nice fancy like off the grid satellite phone so that the lizard people can't hear you communicating. Guess what? Who built the satellite?
The government.
So yeah, the ice cube neutrino detector facilities, that's a whole thing too by itself, man. Like they say that they have these big facilities in Antarctica that are like under the ice.
So how does that? I mean, I never really understood how that whole thing worked. Right? They're blasting neutrinos through the caps and then detect. I mean, how do you? I mean, how does it not?
No. They're detecting incoming neutrinos from like the sun and
Oh, is that
from,
what they're doing?
from like nebulas and fucking exploding stars around the galaxy. Like they're capturing these through the ice. So I'm like, I guess from what I understand, like they're buried so far underneath these ice caps for a couple reasons. One, because the systems probably get hot as hell, right? Just like your laptop does. But the density of the ice slows it down just enough where they're actually able to capture these things, right? And like get their data. However, I've also heard that they're not just like receivers, but they're transmitters. It's some sort of yeah, there's some sort of a transmitting device. Now that's not like publicly known, right? But the conspiracy is that these neutrino detectors are actually some sort of communication device, whether that's from us to the, you know, Star Wars, you know, Galactic Federation, or, you know, with each other. I don't really know, to be honest, but that's a
I
whole thing
mean,
too.
that makes sense. Why only build it one way? But it's
how they're
just
doing it.
gross.
It can be weaponized as well. It's not just a neutrino research facility. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like some sort of Star Wars weapon or something. I don't know. Like they built the Death Star ray gun using these neutrino detectors.
I don't like that.
You don't like any of this.
No, dude, it's all gross and it's all nothing that anybody asked for. And I just, I don't know, man. They make half of the problem. They make almost all of the problems, and you don't get to know that there's a problem. It's like, oh, the planet's too hot, and you're like, oh crap, planet's too hot, and they tell you it's cow farts, and it's not cow farts. They put stuff in the air, right? And then they're like, oh, okay, we got to fix it. We need all this funding. And you're like, okay, and that's going to go to like what, clean energy? They're like, yeah, I'm going to clean energy, dude. We're not exploring nuclear, but clean energy for sure. And scrubbers on the coal mines that are all, or coal facilities that are already like 98% clean. So all this kind of stuff. And you're like, okay, money's going to that. It's whatever. All the environmentalists, yeah, sure. And then it comes out that they raised $75 million to go and spray stuff. That's the real solution. Like, you just poured all your money into something and they gave all of their capital to lower carbon capital. You don't know what lower carbon capital is working on. You just think, oh yeah, it's a green nope. They're about to go do geoengineering and sell it to governments. Who's government?
All of them.
They're going to sell it to Russia and they freaking turn this place into an archipelago?
Well, here's how you know that it's not really climate change, right? Because there's already been like trillions of dollars globally invested into climate change initiatives, right? Like carbon this, carbon that, right? All around the world, trillions of dollars have gone into like curbing climate change. But nobody, no government, no organization with a lot of capital is doing anything about the Amazon. Okay, the Amazon jungle, bro, is like the biggest carbon sink on the planet. You know how much carbon is sucked up by those trees and stored underground? More than any human could ever build filtering systems or anything like that. And I was watching, I forget his name. He's one of these guys who's, you know, he's a Amazon. He's a guy, right? He's like protecting the Amazon or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget his name. He's talking about like, you know, and he shows like satellite image of like how big of areas they've just completely decimated in the Amazon rainforest for logging and for gold mining, right? And then the guy asks him like, why are they doing that? And they're like, well, it's just money, right? It's like, it's just the people who live there, they don't have any other way to make money. So these logging companies and these gold mining companies offer them a job, and the job pays them like $15 a day, and that's like the most money they've ever gotten. So they just go out there and they just start demolishing shit, right? Because $15 a day, hey, why not? Like, we got to feed the family, right?
Starve,
sure.
Otherwise, yeah.
Right. So if that's the case, then these trillions of dollars that have gone into like climate shit, they should just fund organizations to go down there and give those people jobs that pay them more than $15 a day to not do that shit. And you'd capture so much of the CO2. And again, CO2 is not even the problem. All right. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. And I'm just assuming that CO2 is the problem. And even though I know it's not.
CO2 is a problem when you don't have trees.
Yeah, that's
you
a problem.
You can have all the emissions you want. It's literally tree food. There should be more carbon dioxide because it's tree food. But you've said this, bro. And I mean, you couldn't be more right. The biggest emission of CO2 is a human. It's literally what we breathe out of our bodies. You're going to reduce the carbon footprint, the CO2 emissions. That's mouth breathers.
Bro,
You've been saying it.
one volcano erupts, and that's like more CO2 in the atmosphere than all of us combined for like 1,000 years. Okay, and it happens all the time, right? So you know, sure, like if you look at it on a graph, we might humans collectively might be like, you know, expelling CO2 on a you know, the numbers might be big, but it's not big. Not when you're talking about like the earth and like how the whole system actually works, right? Like trees, carbon dioxide is food for trees, bro. It's food for trees. So this is why you always see plant more trees, right? Plant more trees. Yeah, I'm about it. Plant more trees. Or just stop the motherfuckers from cutting down the trees in the Amazon jungle, because that's the carbon sink. That is the carbon sink.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? Do this. Hey, steer all the carbon with your weather modification and HARP technology. Steer all the carbon that way. Steer all the oxygen this way. You can manipulate gases. But like, this is what they do. You look at the procession of housing development in Florida. They have a time lapse year after year of the coast erosion in Florida of just people putting cookie cutter trash houses that get washed away in a hurricane, in every hurricane, up. Dude, there's no more land. It's the Everglades and like the middle up to Pensacola through like Jasper, and that's it. There is a house everywhere else. Relatively speaking, you say, oh, along the highways. Along the highways, you got a mile, maybe, on some of the highways. This whole entire state is a parking lot. There's no trees, man.
Yeah. Well,
I drove through Mount Dora, bro, and as far as I could see, Mount Dora back in the day used to be the middle of nowhere. No light pollution. You could go out there. Not Mount Dora, Claremont. Claremont used to be middle of nowhere. There's nothing there. You could go out, see the stars, beautiful. If I got a call out there when I was a state trooper, I mean, a car hit a cow or something. Like, there's nothing out there to even hit. I just drove through there like a week or two ago. As far as my eyeball could see, beautiful, what used to be beautiful rolling hills is red dirt. Just bulldozed the horizon.
and here's something to think about. Nobody right now can afford to buy a house.
Who's it for? Who is it for?
Who's building? Like who's who's building this shit, dude? Who for what? Because nobody can buy a house.
Housing prices back down. Okay. By what? Flooding the market with trash houses?
Nobody can buy a house, bro.
You to afford?
Look, man, I'm in my mid-30s. I've been working full-time my entire adult life. I don't have expensive taste. I don't have like a spending problem. Ask Crystal. Like I'm pretty tight with money for the most part, right? Like, you know, if I go do something extra, like I'm even thinking like, what can I do that's cheap, right? Oh, go buy some bait and go fishing, right? Or like some, like I'm not one of these guys out here just spending all my money and I still have no money to buy a house, right? I just bought an RV because like that's where we're at now, right? So it's like who is buying enough property to build enough of these subdivisions that are just leveling all of the trees, and you're putting up 4,000 houses in a zip code. Who's that? What is this? This is the Agenda 2030. This is the 15-minute smart city build out. They're building it out right now. You've got BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard and all these other, you know, whatever's. They're buying the land and they're leveling the trees and they're building the cities and they're building the neighborhoods, and nobody's bought those houses, bro. Those houses are going to remain empty and they're going to bring people in from the rural areas because their shit's going to get flooded, burned, hurricane, earthquake, whatever that's going to happen. They're going to bring those people in and they're going to rent those properties out to them. Those properties, as far as the eye can see, are not people buying them.
Well, what they'll also do is, anybody who does have like farm and stuff, is they tell them they can't grow, or they import everything. So stores aren't even buying your stuff anymore because we don't have to label in the United States anymore where the product came from, just where it was packaged. So it's like they'll go and buy meat from third world countries, bring it over here. Farmers out, that are having like, they're growing cows in the Florida cracker and all these different cows. No one's buying their stuff. So they go out of business, and then some mega corporation comes in, scoops up all that land, bulldozes all of it, ruins the entire thing, and goes, this is now going to be a solar farm.
Or a housing.
God knows what those devices actually are. Oh, yeah. Or just a bunch of houses. And guess what? Guess where we're getting the wood? Amazon.
Yep, literally. You know what this reminds me of? In China, they have the ghost cities. You've seen this?
Yeah.
It's like whole cities, bro. Like bigger than Manhattan, skyscrapers, the whole thing. And like nobody lives there. They're just ghost cities, right? And like, I've always thought that China just did this to make people think that the population was bigger than it was, right? Which actually, if I'm not mistaken, just recently, like some kind of Chinese census came out, and that turned out to be true. Their numbers are nowhere near what they've always claimed they were, but they're doing it here now too. They're building ghost cities, bro. So
I've seen some people who live in the ghost cities being like, all these lights are always on, all like the little mail inserts, and some dummy goes by and being like, oh, let me put some flyers in here. They stay in the doors for days and days and days and days.
Dude, it happens here, man. Like, okay, so I go house, I'm doing pest control, right? I go house to house to house to house to house, right? And I'm doing all these pest control services. And I'm in like the same neighborhoods all the time for the most part. And these neighborhoods that I'm doing a lot of work in are these neighborhoods we're talking about, these like huge developments with thousands of houses, as far as the eye could see, right? Cookie cutter homes all day long. And I'm telling you right now, dude, like for the amount of houses that I see in these areas versus the amount of traffic that I see and people like walking and running and all that kind of stuff, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like I'm telling you, at least 80% of these houses are just empty. They're just empty. Now people will say, oh, you're in Florida. Those are all the snowbirds. Like just wait, they'll come down. Bro, no, I'm telling you right now. Like I'll drive through these. There's one neighborhood in Rockledge that I drive through, right? And it's literally just houses, bro. Just nice houses too. I go in there, dude. I go to the stop sign, right? A 4-way stop. I don't see anybody. So I go. Next one, nobody. Go. Oh, here's a car going by. Next stop, nobody. Go. Lights green all the time. Just the lights are always green. Just going, like there's nobody living there.
Dude, the neighborhood that I'm in has like 1 billion homes, and I don't see anybody. There's cars, and they don't move. I don't see anybody. I drive around to the bus stops. The bus. There's kids waiting on the corner. 10 kids.
Yeah, same.
10 kids. The line to get out of the street in the morning, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, like everybody. No line. It might be a little bit, but it'll be 10 cars. It's 10 cars, 10 kids. Everybody's foreign, and I mean super foreign. I got a French neighbor and a Russian neighbor. Like, when do you ever have a French and a Russian neighbor?
I'm telling you, something's going on with all that, man.
It's just very weird. The population thing. Let me go back to that. Right, I just saw an Instagram video of a guy who's talking about how it is mathematically impossible to have a one-child policy for like 28 years or whatever, it was 30 years, and have a population growth of like whatever percent they had. He's like, instead of being like over 1 billion, they're probably in like the 400 million. I was like, dude, nothing has ever made more sense to me than that.
I'm telling you, this just came out. Like I remember seeing this like a couple of weeks ago.
Bro, and then here's the thing though. This is what I thought of after. They bring all of the industry. I used to work for a company that everything we manufactured was in China, and it was impossible to compete with anybody else who was building things in China. They take all of our engineering and they revamp their technology and they do all this kind of stuff. This would be the ultimate rug pull of all time. Inflate your population, make everybody think you're some kind of absolute economic superpower. Your population is about to collapse. You take everybody's industry, all of their money, the floor drops completely out, your whole entire infrastructure crumbles, and everybody's left being like, oh, what? That'd be a global rug pull. It'd be the greatest thing that ever happened. They would be goated forever as ultimate.
Newsweek, China has long been over-reporting its population, over 100 million people fewer than officially claimed. And that was in
nothing.
2024. Yeah, that's not even like the one that I've
100
seen
million,
recently.
bro. When you're talking about a billion, they're like, oh, they over-reported by 10%. Like, I mean, that is a lot of people, but
I don't know. I'd have to really find it. But I'm telling you, man, like they're lying about that.
oh, I mean, I have the video of the guy explaining it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hear it though, but let me try. Let me try real quick because this rocked my brain. Let me see. Here it is. Let me share. Oh, it's not sharing. Because this is just crap they lie about. No big.
I've said for a long time that they're lying about the population.
Than you think. I am thoroughly convinced that they are lying about their population. And I can prove
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
it with math. Because currently China's official population is 1.4 billion people. But if we look back in history, this number doesn't really make sense. Because back in 1980, when the one-child policy was first introduced, China had an official population of 981 million people. And the one-child policy would have on paper at least led China to have a fertility rate of about 1, meaning 1 child born per every woman. With that in mind, China's population should have shrunk by roughly 2.5% every year. Which means 35 years later, in 2015, when the one-child policy was finally reversed, that China should have had a population of roughly 408 million people, with an overall net decline of about 58% of its population. However, in 2015, they reportedly had a population of 1.38 billion people. Now, I understand that not everyone was strictly following the one-child policy, but even with that, the country was at best not even hitting replacement fertility rates. So how did they grow by 39% population when they should have shrunk by 58%? And the answer is they are lying about their population numbers. And one reason as to why could be local governments, because a lot of them receive funding based on how many people they have in their specific province or city. So in a roundabout way, they would be encouraged to lie about their population to get a budget surplus. Either way, mathematically, there's no possibility that China even has 1 billion people in it. The numbers just don't add up.
Now, again, dude, you are friggin' Jeff Calls It Right, bro. That is your new name. Jeff Calls It Right. You've been saying there ain't 7 billion people on the planet. And I'm like, nah, dude, there is. And then you're right again. You've been saying that, dude.
I'm telling you, bro. And like, it's not just China, dude. It's everywhere. And it's for the one of the reasons is for the reason that he said. Same in the United States. They're going to say, oh, there's close to 400 million people in the United States. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second, dude. And the reason that they would lie about it, same thing. Budgets, money.
Voting, whatever.
Voting, yep.
Wow,
Yep.
dude.
Dude,
You've been saying that's so crazy.
I drove all over this country when I used to drive a semi truck, dude. I've been in every state, in all the metropolitan areas, right? I've done it. I've seen it all. I'm telling you right now, there's more nothing than there is something in this country. Okay. And sure, there's a dickload of people in certain areas, right? You go to Chicago, you go to like New York or there's a lot of people, bro. You go into Orlando, there's a lot of people running around. But you drive 30 minutes out of Orlando and you're in nothing for hours, bro, until you get to Tampa. And then, oh, here's some people. But in between, right? Let's just use this example. In between Orlando, a lot of people, Tampa, a lot of people. In between that, there's a lot of nothing, and there's a lot of these massive subdivisions with just houses as far as the eye can see, but
Yeah,
no
you go
traffic.
through, like Davenport or not Davenport.
Poinciana,
Yeah,
you know,
you go through like Lakeland and all this stuff. Matt, I mean, just you look out and you're like, holy crap, dude! They just bulled car dealerships that are like 200 acres. It's like what? An auto mall for no reason
no traffic.
out
No
there.
traffic.
It's all on I-4.
It's all on I-4. Yeah, I mean, you confine everybody to a couple of lanes going this way and that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna. It seems like there's a lot of people.
But that's the
But if
thing.
you-
It's like they're not going to these places because they're empty. Everybody's going from Orlando to Tampa because there's nothing in between.
The census is fake, bro. I'm trying to say it. I've been trying to
Dang,
say it
man.
for a long time, dude.
Dang, man. I always try to be like very fair and balanced and be like, well, you know, maybe there's a way to explain that. Maybe there's something he's not considering, like good point. You know, there could be some things that are outside, but it's just like,
And then
It
it
just
gets
makes
even
more
worse,
sense.
right? Because you could take all that traffic we're talking about on I-4 and like the all the people in these certain areas, but you remove all the people that are tourists. Just now, how many people are we looking at? A lot
None, dude.
less.
None, dude. Because once you pass Disney, where's everybody?
I'm saying, bro.
Smooth sailing.
It's to promote. It's for budgets and voting purposes and all these things, but it's to promote scarcity. Like this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing, dude. The whole thing is of scarcity versus abundance. If everybody in the back of their mind and their subconscious thinks that there's just 7-8 billion people, or you can't even fathom that number, right? But if you just everybody thinks that there's just so many people running around, you're subconsciously going to be worried about resources, money, right? Like all these different little things, and it's just the scarcity mindset,
It's
which
the
is like
rat
the thing,
thing.
huh?
It's the rat thing.
The rat race.
No, were we reading it, or I might have read it on my own? So there's a famous experiment where it's called Rat Heaven or something like that, Rat World, and it's everything rats could ever want: food, water, play, everything, a lot of space, everything. As soon as they crowd the rats, as soon as there's too many rats, the alphas start eating everybody. Even though there's plenty of food, they start acting like just crazy. And all the betas, they all like just sneak away, and they're very reclusive and they hide. And it's just like a madhouse when there's too many of them, even though they've got everything they need. It's just too crowded. But it's like, how do you do that on a giant planet where there's plenty of space, where Africa, you can fit every continent inside of Africa?
You
How in
cram
the
everybody
world?
into an area. You cram everybody into a city.
You just cram, and then lie.
Yep.
Well, you can't move here. It's pretty crowded. So you better buy, because once it's open, there's nothing going for sale.
And I think that's part of the reason too why like housing costs is so much right now. It's like they're inflating those numbers because look, man, there's not too many people. That's like some eugenics, depopulation mindset, right? There's too many people.
Garbage,
right? Nihilistic. There you go. That's a good word. But in order to like keep this lie going of the population numbers and all this stuff, they inflate the housing market just synthetically, right? And then they'll tell everybody, oh, you can't afford a house because there's just too many people. There's just not enough housing. Even though we just talked about the millions of freaking houses being put up everywhere, apparently there's not enough of them for everybody to have one. Supply and demand, price goes up, you can't afford one, sucks to suck. It's a lie.
Well, yeah. And then where does that force you? Into an apartment, into a rat house.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, like I said at the start of this, I freaking hate this place. Everywhere sucks, and everybody in power sucks.
Well,
It's just
I don't think they can hold up for too much longer, to be honest with you. I do, on the bright side, right? Let's end this on a positive note. I don't think that they can keep up all of these lies for too much longer. Now, it might be longer than we would want. It might be longer than our lifetimes, right? But you look out 100 years, I don't think they're going to be able to keep this up. Not at the level that they've been keeping it up, which is why that they're going for such a big push recently, right? With whether it's like censoring misinformation and disinformation, right? Or debanking people, or, you know, whatever the thing is, like they're really trying to crack down now, you know, build out this smart city initiative by 2030, right? Like all these things that they're trying to do as quickly as they can, because they know that it's only a matter of time. They cannot keep this up. You could keep this up when it was newspapers and 4 radio channels and 5 news stations, and like you had a chokehold on all the information. You could keep that up. You could do that for a long time because nobody could really question it, or you have any, you know what I mean? Like even if you questioned it, there's no way to verify one way or the other. But now we have the internet, right? And not only do we have the internet, but we got nerds. We got Reddit nerds and 4chan nerds that know how to get into the internet, right? Not just Google something, but like they know how to like go in there. You ever see these Reddit nerds? When dude, they'll pull up a video. They'll be like, "Oh, look at his shirt that he's wearing," and then they'll go down a deep rabbit hole and find out that shirt was this, and then it came from over here, and the fibers were mined from this tree over here. And, like they go so deep in like 30 minutes, right? And they're like, "We cracked it in 30 minutes." So like that's happening, and you've got AI tools. As much as like they want to keep control of us with the AI tools, again, you got the Reddit nerds. They're like, and they're figuring it out. There's not enough time, or they're running out of time. That's basically
Yeah. Well, I hope so, man, because it's too much. It's way too much, and it's everywhere, and it gives you like this feeling of like, well, what am I gonna do? I guess just give up. You know, it's like I go and grow a bunch of, you know, plants and stuff, and my food is going to be covered in whatever garbage they have falling out of the sky every year, you know, or they're just controlling the weather. So what's the point? They're going to make the weather terrible everywhere that there's people and great everywhere that there's not, so that they can have control over the farming. What's the point? Or, you know, and it's just like, man, it's so hard to fight that sometimes.
Yeah, but I think that's what they want, man. You got to remember the interdimensional psychic vampires. They're feeding off of that anxiety and that negative energy, right? So like they, even if it's not true, if you think it's true, you're food.
That's true, man. And that gets back to the whole population thing. Like it's not true, but if you think it's true, you're going to act like a rat.
Right.
You're going to get crazy and start, you know, devouring people.
So you just got to keep doing what you're doing, really. You know, like, you know, if you're looking at some land, figure it out.
I'm trying to get away, dude. I'm trying to get away from
Figure
people.
it out, right? Like I'm moving out of this quadplex, and I'm going back to mom's. Why? Because mom's got land. I could put the RV there, right? I can be like kind of off the grid, like, you know, simpler, just minimize my whole situation, right? Dial in, right? Because being over here, it's not bad, but you know, I'm not dialing in, right? If I go there, I'm dialing in. Now I can play with her chickens, right? I can help her with the garden, right? I can like do these things.
Empire.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like
Bigger coop, more chickens.
more chickens, man. More
Come
chickens.
to Montana.
Hell no, dude.
I wish, dude. It's too
I
expensive.
would actually. I say that only because like it gets colder than shit up there, and I'm not really built for that. But
I'll take a cold day any day, bro.
you got some land up there, Shinobes? You got an acre for your boy? Hook me
It's
up,
too
bro.
expensive, man. I was looking. I mean, if you got the inn, you know where to go. Friggin' hit us up on the DM us on Instagram. Let us know where the land is, because I haven't bought anything yet.
Somebody who listens to the show has got 1,000 acres in South Dakota or something, bro. Like,
Hey, you want to
Just-
share?
that's what I'm saying, bro. Let us
Want
know.
to share? Listen, guys, on the DL, and I'm not going to say it on air here, but I'll say it when you let me onto your land somewhere in the Midwest. I'll sabotage Bill Gates' farm property. We'll fly drones over it and see what he's doing, and we'll, you know, fair out there. I'm not going to say that here, but
There you go.
Like, well, we can have some fun. You get me out on your property, we'll have some fun.
Speaking of, what was the last episode we posted on Spotify? Do you know? It's been a
I don't
while,
know.
right?
How's
Been
it?
a hot minute. I don't know. I personally haven't posted
Dude,
one.
it takes 3 hours to upload an episode to Spotify.
I know, it's crazy, dude. Let me just
It's the
look real
slowest
quick.
thing ever. It sucks.
I think we're like 4 or 5 episodes in the bank right now.
All right, we'll catch them up. It's cold. The cold is rad AF. Look out of towns. I do not have that land though.
You know what I mean, bro?
Well then, bye. Get out of here with your weak suggestions, brother.
That's funny.
Come
Well,
live in Montana with me.
get the land and I'll move up there, brother.
Yeah, bro. You start talking land, and then we got a conversation, brother. But I also, hold on. Jay just sent me this. Climate reversal. President Trump reacted after Bill Gates appeared to soften his stance on climate change, writing the doomsday view of climate change. Writing that the doomsday view of climate change, in which global catastrophe will occur if rising global temperatures aren't addressed, is wrong. And then he posted on Truth Social, if we, ! Just won the war on the climate change hoax. Oh, I just won the war on the climate change hoax. Oh, congratulations. Bill Gates has finally admitted that he is completely wrong on that issue. It took courage to do so, and for that we are forever grateful. MAGA. Bro, arrest that man. We are not grateful.
I'm just going to say this, man, for any of my like ancient history nerds or like, you know, people who just get into like, you know, ancient whatever. I just want you to realize something. When it was colder, humans almost went extinct every time. When it gets warmer, we live in abundance. So this whole idea that like the climate's warming up, it's a catastrophe, wrong, dude. If it gets colder, we're fucked. If like global temperatures plummet, fucked. Remember the Ice Age? You guys remember that?
Stuff doesn't grow in the cold very well.
Right. And then you have more disease, right? All these types of things. Cold's not good, bro. When it's warm, it's nice. It's good. It's a good thing for humanity. We're warm creatures. We're warm-blooded.
We're temperate, as it's called. Actually, Shinobi brings up a good point. The cold keeps a lot of people away. That is true, and I take back some of the things that I said. Some, not all. But yeah, like we said, guys, listen, we've been doing this, and we don't take any money. We're completely independent, and we're always right, okay? There's not that many people. Jeff is right. Carbon dioxide is literally one of the things that plants ingest to then make oxygen. The more carbon dioxide you have, so long as you have a bunch of trees, you will have more oxygen. More oxygen means better, cleaner air for you. They filter out crap out of the air and then give you pure O2, and it's great. So they need to stop bulldozing everything and stop trying to lower carbon dioxide.
Also, the
because
sun is
it's
important.
your carbon dioxide.
Also, the sun is important, so stop trying to block it.
I'm trying to block the sun. It's literally what makes this planet habitable.
It's almost like, if you think about it, they're trying to cut CO2 and they're trying to block the sun. The two things that trees need to produce oxygen.
Which is what we breathe. Which we don't just breathe oxygen, it's mostly nitrogen. I know that, you dorks. Okay? But still, the two things that give us life on the earth is the trees and the sun. And they're trying to get rid of it all to kill everybody.
And the water, which they've
The
microplastic
water's
out.
toast.
Yeah.
The water's toast. It's cooked, bro. It's all salinated and it's all has atrazine in it. It's toast. I'm drinking literal poison right here.
Yeah, there's how much estrogen in that bottle of water?
It says it's got your daily dose on it.
There you go.
So yeah, 90% of your daily dose of estrogen.
Estrogen and
The good
microplastics.
thing is, here's a good thing. Just the same way testosterone works, estrogen works. So the more you take in here, your body just stops producing it. That's
So
how
if we just stop drinking water cold turkey, we're just gonna
dude, you get juiced.
we're gonna get
Why do you
bulked
think,
up.
dude, why do you think Donald Trump only drinks Diet Cokes? He was on water and then he went to Diet Cokes, and homie got yoked and ran for president.
You might be onto something.
Same with Alex Jones, bro.
You might be onto something here.
I might be onto something. All right, man.
Everything's a lie.
All
Well,
right.
I don't know why I'm playing this.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Follow us. Thanks for being in the chat, everybody. Clip our videos. Oh, what's up, LA, bro? You're the last one on the